If you ever speak to the media again, you better be careful. Do not dare attack the integrity of this commission. Consider this a warning. Be very, very careful. That was the brutal warning Justice Madlanga just fired at Feroz Khan's lawyer. After the lawyer went to the media and suggested the shocking hit on Khan was connected to potential information leaked at the commission regarding his upcoming evidence on corruption and syndicates, Madlanga did not take it lightly. He saw it for exactly what it was, a desperate attempt to destroy the commission's integrity. I am not going to waste your time. If you want Feroz Khan forced to appear before the Madlanga Commission, and you stand with the work the commission is doing, please like, subscribe, and share this video so other patriots can hear the truth. Jabulani, please show them the video.
You see, this is not only about what you intended to convey, but it is also about how reasonable listeners would have understood this. You are saying this in the context of General Khan having been shot. And in that context, you mention leaks or compromise. Or what did you mean by compromise? I understood it, and I believe myself to be a reasonable listener. I understood you to be referring to leaks from or by the commission.
Absolutely not.
And I also understood that to go back to the context in which General Khan was shot. So all of that, when you look at it holistically, it suggests that we served the commission late last night. He gets shot after service of the documents, and there are leaks within the commission. When you look at the totality of all that, it does suggest, or it may reasonably suggest to a reasonable listener, that you are basically saying that as a result of the leak, General Khan, or rather, General Khan may well have been shot as a result of the leak from the commission. That would, or that's a possible way in which a reasonable listener would have understood what you said.
May I reply?
Yes.
I unqualifiedly, before you and the media, say that that is not my instructions, and that is most certainly not what I intended to communicate to the media with my attorney and family members of General Khan present.
Thank you. May I say this then? If you are ever to make media briefings again, be careful of what you say and don't say anything that may tend to impugn the integrity of this commission. You should be very careful about that.
I note what you said. Reported by the different journalists, did General Khan fear for his life? He communicated directly to me and my attorney seated next to me that in light of all of these events, and he specifically mentioned the murder of somebody that appeared before the commission, that he feared for himself. And you'll see in this report, I say, he used different vehicles, he took different routes, and he consulted his legal team at different locations. I go on to say there had been an attempt on General Khan's life as he was to appear before the commission. And there is grave concern that there might be a compromise within the commission. General Khan had expressed to my attorney and myself that in fact his team was the unit that did the security services for the commission itself. Now this is not to say, and I say this unqualifiedly, that this is not to say that there is a leak within the commissioners, within the evidence leaders, but there are police officers involved in these incidences that General Khan was concerned about. And that concern was carried over by his family to the police trying to get access to him on the morning of the incident. But lastly, I say, and I qualify this, but at this stage it is speculative, it is speculated by the family, if that assists, Commissioner.
You see, this is not only about what you intended to convey, but it is also about how reasonable listeners would have understood this. You are saying this in the context of General Khan having been shot. And in that context, you mention, you say there has been some contact with the Madlanga Commission, and we understand that they have directed representatives to arrive at the hospital to confirm that General Khan has in fact been shot, or alternatively whether this is something less serious than what it is made out to be. Who is supposed to have given this directive?
My attorney is looking for the correspondence right now.
All right, all right.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yes, yes.
My attorney has instructed me in relation to this, and of course the comment that I made is what I was instructed and obtained from my attorney. He refreshes my memory that there was correspondence on the morning, which is, I think it's the 29th of June, 2026, from the Commission's attorney, Diale, in which they seek information. We request that you urgently inform the Commission of the facts within your knowledge concerning the incident, including the extent and nature of the injuries and the expected period of recovery. They then go on to say, also provide the Commission with a medical report from Major General Khan's attending physician. When I got to the hospital, I was instructed by my attorney and also advised by members of the police that were present at the scene, as well as members of the family, that persons had arrived at the reception area at the hospital, indicating that they were from the Madlanga Commission and that they wanted to interview General Khan. We also engaged with the security provided by the medical facility, indicating that they had resisted attempts by police and media, and I believe, if I recollect correctly, people saying that they are from the Madlanga Commission and wanting to get into the ward.
This is something quite serious because once I became aware of this and that there was a directive of that nature would only have come from me, I gave no such directive. And I asked around amongst all senior functionaries within the commission if they knew anything about that. And the response I got was that nobody knew anything about this. So what you are saying now comes as a surprise to me. And it's quite serious, actually, because it suggests the possibility that some people may have gone to the hospital and wrongly presented themselves as coming from the commission. Are you able to give us the supposed timing of this?
We will attempt to get the information and present it to you. My attorney is with me. My attorney asked for permission to address you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, we shared your concern at the morning, on the morning just after the shooting. Now, I was present shortly after the shooting at the hospital because when I received the call, it was approximately around 11:30 the evening after General Khan had left my offices. We weren't entirely sure that there was in fact a shooting, so I responded to the scene. By the time that I arrived there, General Khan had already been evacuated to Milpark Hospital. I then made my way there. Now, there was lots of things happening. There were lots of people around, but at the very least, we knew that General Khan was...
Well, the last question I asked was what time General Khan was shot, or is supposed to have been shot. You said around 11:30. Was it not, in fact, earlier than that?
Chairperson, I have not spoken with the police, neither have I seen any of their investigations. You will remember that I bent over to my attorney and asked him, and that is what was communicated to me. So,
oh my God,
independently, I'm unable to answer that question.
Somebody took my laptop and my copy of the transcript. Oh gosh. Yeah. But before we stand down waiting for my laptop, you may counter this if you want to end, indeed, as you are free to, or at liberty to. I have here something posted by Mr. Bule Lichwidi Jones of ENCA on X. I assume that a tweet is still a tweet, it's not an X, even though the platform is now X. And it says, at ENCA, and then arrived on the scene around 23:18. The incident happened just after 2300 hours, we are told. But what's important is he's already there. He's there at 23:18, so obviously before past. And he says he's told that the incident happened at 2300 hours. Would you have a basis for saying that that is not so?
No, I was not at the scene. I was informed much later, and I did not arrive at the scene.
No, I'm asking a different question.
Have a basis.
You would not be able to say that is not correct.
I'm not able to.
You are not able to say so. All right. Now, here's my difficulty. You suggest in the interview, you mentioned the unfortunate death, obviously there, even though you don't mention the name, it's obviously a reference to witness D or Mr. Marius van der Merwe. You say a witness that testified at the commission invitation, which you say you accept. Nothing stops us if we were so minded. I'm not saying that we are, but nothing stops us from dismissing the application outright on the basis, for example, of vagueness. And I must tell you outright that I feel that the application is very vague. For example, I have no idea altogether whether what General Khan is asking for is only for evidence relating to the erupted bust to be aired publicly. So I don't know whether that is what he is saying. All that can be heard publicly is erupted and nothing more. If that is the case, the affidavit does not explain why everything else is out of bounds in terms of being aired publicly. There's nothing there altogether. For example, let's take what is contained, just one example, the communications between General Khan and Mr. Sayed. Let me not get into the detail of what those say. You know what they say, and they're out there in the public domain. But the point is, looking at those, at face value, those appear to be private communications between Mr. Sayed and General Khan, without an explanation as to why those raise security or intelligence issues or confidential issues. I'm completely at a loss. I'm completely in the dark. So, one, perhaps you should answer the question whether indeed the application is suggesting that all that may be heard publicly is the erupted bust. Is that so or not?
No, it is not so.
Then what more then may be heard publicly?
Yes. So, of course, Chairperson, the application must be viewed in its correct context. And part of the context, and I do not wish to detain you more than is necessary, part of the context is that as late as last week, we received something like 370,000 line items of WhatsApp messages.
Yes.
The evidence leaders in their affidavit seem to intimate, well, it's your WhatsApp messages, you should know about it. There are considerations such as the authenticity of the messages, whether they are altered, we don't know, whether they have been, whether the chain of command has been retained, we don't know. We've invited access, and these are all the events before Sunday night. We've invited supervised access to the devices. That has not been forthcoming. So we have considerations, and my attorney's done a calculation, surprisingly, that if we were to spend 10 seconds reading each WhatsApp message, it'll take us about 200 days to get through all of them. So in that light, we ask for the indulgence that we have the opportunity, and the evidence leaders have, for all intents and purposes, acknowledged this, that we be given the opportunity in the fullness of time to better formulate this application and to allow us the opportunity to place full information before the Commission. Suffice to say, as late as this weekend, we received another 11,000 pages of bank statements with the explanation that, well, it's your bank statement, you should know what's in it. We, of course, need to go through this, and because we are now hamstrung, there is an amount of delay. We asked the Commission, and correctly so you have pointed out, that you are not bound by what the evidence leaders say. We ask you for that indulgence. Given the extraordinary circumstances that we are faced with presently, we hope to be able to move matters forward and to better present ourselves before you. And it's simply an indulgence at this point in time.
What you are addressing now, with the exception of the bank statements about which I've not seen anything in writing, but the rest of what you say, the number of texts, the thousands or even hundreds of thousands of texts, the thousands of pages and so on, if I understood the application correctly, you raise those issues in the context of seeking condonation for the lateness of the application. That has nothing to do with the question that I asked, which is, what is confidential or relates to state security, relates to intelligence? What is it in the application? You have detailed all of the things that you have detailed, and none of that addresses the question that I put to you. I hope you understand. Also, and of importance is that even if you complain about this material, that you say was delivered late, General Khan, through your assistance, I assume, has brought an application for an in-camera hearing, stating, as a matter of fact, he doesn't say there's a whole lot of material or stuff that's still outstanding. He has come to this commission asking for an in-camera hearing on the basis of state security, confidentiality, intelligence matters, investigative ways by the intelligence operatives, all of which should not be aired publicly. So he took himself or understood himself to have facts to come to this commission that has nothing to do with the material you have just placed before us. Because if that was the issue, then he would not have been ready to bring the application. So my point about the application being vague stands.
Yes.
And you would have you have to respond to that if you wish to. Please do.
So, Chairperson, you will note that this application was brought at a late stage on Sunday evening, whilst all these events were unfolding. But to answer your question, General Khan is not here to testify today, and the commissioners have to unpack what is in the current application. There is room to breathe, to fix up what is currently a lacuna in the application, and I concede that before you. If you were to close the door without offering us a better opportunity
But at the very least, Mr. Khan, you should be able to explain the basis on which the application was brought in the first place.
Yes. So
for example, the application in so many words refers to the relationship between General Khan and Mr. Syed, and I think it's the only example it actually touches on. I may be wrong. So it does refer to that, and all it does is to talk about context and how the intelligence system bears relevance to that relationship. But are we to take General Khan on his word on that? We cannot. We cannot grant the application on his word. There's some context. What context? There's some bearing. What bearing? We are completely in the dark. We cannot grant an application like that. So it's on that basis that I say, why did General Khan come before us? At that stage, he was well. He had not been shot. And by the way, let me place it on record that the Commission has, in so many words, expressed its words
and condolences. Thank you, Commissioner.
I've only heard but I'm a third language English speaker. I've only heard condolences used in the context of someone who has passed on. I'm not saying it's not used in the context in which you are using it. But you are quite right. We have, as a commission, expressed those words. But the point I'm making is, at the time this application was crafted and brought, he was well, no question there. So I have difficulty understanding the basis on which the application was brought in the first place. Serious difficulty with that.
Yes.
That there has now been an offer which General Khan, through you, is grabbing is something else altogether. Was there an application before us in the first place? If there was, on what basis was it brought before us?
Okay. So,
because I mean, I have said it's vague. I could actually go further and say it's hopeless. From where I'm sitting, it's hopeless.
So, Chairperson, we are faced with the following situation. This application was brought on Sunday. On Monday, the evidence leaders conditionally opposed this application. There isn't even a replying affidavit before you at this stage. because of circumstances. Now, the basis, and I don't wish to argue the matter fully, the basis of the claim for an in-camera application is set out under certain headings in the application. The evidence leaders have come back and said it's not sufficient, we want more clarity. That could very well, in the fullness of time, come in the replying affidavit, which should not be new because it talks to the headings. But to answer your question, what's the basis, why at the late stage, and I understand your question. This matter has been unfolding for some time. It is on the back of further evidence that is being presented at the Commission. There are circumstances that are set out in the affidavits in the High Court application. So there are a lot of moving parts in this matter that remain moving. One may look in the crystal ball and say, yes, you should have brought this application at an earlier stage. One may criticize the legal team, but the reality of the matter is that we have...
I am not raising any of those. I'm raising a different point, but please continue with your response.
I am submitting to you, Chairperson and Commissioners, that there would be no prejudice or harm affording this application to become ripe and then considering it as opposed to dismissing it summarily at this stage without a replying affidavit and without a full opportunity to place more information before the Commission. So it's an indulgence that we seek. Your powers are wide, and there we find ourselves.
So do I understand you to be saying you have no answer to my question? Because even up to this point, you have not answered my question. Do I understand you to be saying you have no answer, and that perhaps everything will become clearer once what you call a replying affidavit has been filed? But as to the basis of bringing the application that is now before us, you are not able to give an answer to the question that I asked.
Our position is that we don't wish to hamstring the work of the Commission. As regards the evidence of General Khan and what is to unfold, we're told by the evidence leader at this point in time that they will be addressing you on Friday morning. May I have the opportunity till Friday morning to consider my position and then communicate and engage with them? It might very well be that we can limit issues with them, and then we report back to you on Friday morning.
Mr. Khan, if we were in motion court, you would be asking a judge to remove your matter from the roll because the judge would have raised difficulties with your application, and you would be aware that if you were to proceed, it's likely to be dismissed. So the mic is So that's where you find yourself, and speaking for myself, I understand your difficulty because you are counsel. You don't have the authority to withdraw or to tender a withdrawal. You would need to take instructions. But it seems to me that the proper thing would be for you to say the application should be removed from your roll today, and your attorneys will decide what to do with it. They may very well give a notice of withdrawal. But you seem to be understanding Commissioner Baloyi's position, because none of what she says prevents General Khan from bringing the same application properly motivated. Because even your notice of motion, your prayer too, as it stands, I have serious difficulties with it. So it's not a simple case of just supplementing or filing a replying affidavit. You need to fix your notice of motion as well. So it makes sense to me that the application has to be withdrawn, and if you are so instructed, you file a proper, motivated application that deals with the issues that you want to be heard in camera. Because as it stands, those are not there. It's just blanket statements that, we do not understand. So with that in mind, maybe without wasting any further time, just tell us what you want to do, and Chair will consider that and we will move forward.
Thank you, Commissioner. I've heard you say that without giving legal advice, a prudent course might be to simply remove the application, and I'll ask that we remove the application from your law.
Thank you very much. The removal is yours. It's not done by us. So I assume that we must take the application as removed.
Thank you very much.
All right. In the interim, and regarding any concerns General Khan and you, the legal representatives, might have with regard to possible prejudice, I would refer you to paragraph 23.4 and page 33 of the answering affidavit. There, the evidence leaders make a fair point. The evidence, they say, I quote, the evidence leaders will engage General Khan and his legal team on how to present evidence on the remaining topics in a manner which does not compromise confidential crime intelligence information or prejudice the safety of informants or undercover agents. So it's not as if Ms. Hassim intends to, on Friday, just start leading evidence without that engagement having taken place. This means that Ms. Hassim, as all of us actually should, accepts the fact that with an intelligence operative, there should indeed be intelligence-related matters which should not be aired publicly, security-related, and even confidential, all of which should not, as I say, be aired publicly. Ms. Hassim understands that, and because of that understanding, she's willing to engage with General Khan, but because you say he is not conscious at the moment, I thought you said, that means Ms. Khan will engage with you, General Khan's legal representatives, you accepted that, for example, that this application is not saying we should, what should be aired publicly is erupted only. So you accept that there's more than just that. So that's the ground which will be covered by the engagement between the two sides, as it were. So in a sense, this provides somewhat of a cushion.
Yes, Commissioner, Chairperson, there is some comfort in this statement here, yes. And that is why I prefaced my address to you with my desire to engage with the evidence leaders and see how we can come to some resolution.
Yes. No, thank you. Thank you very much. Then this is closed. The application is withdrawn, so this discussion is closed. But yes. No, I did say we cannot withdraw. There's an issue or two that I wish to address, Mr. Khan. Up to today, we have never had to follow, interact with, pronounce on, or engage with issues that are out in the media. But this time around, I do wish to raise issues that were in the media. Here's the background. Our spokesperson, Mr. Jeremy Michaels, picked up an interview that was conducted by Ms. Zianda Ngobo, and she was interviewing you. Our spokesperson was quite concerned by some of the things that you said, and he suggested to the commission that a media statement should be issued addressing those issues that concerned him. After discussion within the commission, the view taken was that rather these issues should be raised here in open session with you. I will commence to do just that. At what time did General Khan serve his papers on the commission? It was Sunday night, was it not?
That's correct.
At what time?
My attorney is checking right now.
It is at 4 minutes past 11 on Sunday night, Chair.
4 minutes past 11, yes. And at what time is General Khan supposed to have been shot?
If I may. We do not say with certainty, but it appears to be approximately 11:30.
11:30. Now I want to refer you to a response. We have a transcript of the interview.
Chair, we could provide a copy of that transcript to my learned friend.
Oh, you did?
I'm not certain when. I don't have it in front.
No, I'm saying we could provide a copy as you addressing these issues, so he has it in front of you.
Perhaps we should adjourn very briefly, and you can indicate as soon as that has been done. We'll just wait outside. Yeah.
It won't be long, Chair, so don't go upstairs.
Sorry?
I said we won't be long. So
No. I'm saying we'll stay.